Now on CBC Vancouver News. Strong wind whips up a wildfire near Pemberton.
And I've seen the flames were just taking right off.
As community members and firefighters step in. Plus,
I'm committing here today to another 0% property tax increase in 2027.
Vancouver's mayor makes some pre-election promises with big price tags. And
couldn't be happier to have this expertise, experience, and energy.
another MP crosses the floor to join the federal Liberals. They're one seat shy of a majority with by-elections on the way.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Dan Burritt. Thanks for joining us. And we start with that big shakeup in federal politics. Another MP has crossed the floor to join the federal Liberals. Marilyn Gladue has left the Conservative Party, saying her decision will benefit her constituents in Ontario. As Ashley Burke explains, the Grits are now technically one seat away from a majority.
Yet another hastily called announcement. Prime Minister Mark Carney introducing the latest addition to his growing Liberal family.
We couldn't be happier to have this expertise, experience, and energy coming to our team.
Southwestern Ontario MP Marilyn Gladue, a longtime Conservative, defecting to the Liberals team.
He's invited me to bring my experience, my talents, and my views into the large Liberal tent.
Some of those views at odds with the Liberals. Gladue opposed legalizing cannabis.
With drug-impaired driving and challenges there, the doubling of traffic deaths, and Liberals don't care.
Retracted comments questioning the seriousness of COVID-19 and need for vaccine mandates. And when she ran to lead the Conservatives, said she'd allow private members' bills to restrict abortion.
Look, we are interested in unity, not uniformity. And if you really want to unite the country, you want people with lots of different views.
This is the fifth MP to cross the floor since the fall. Laurie Idlout joining from the NDP, and now 4 Conservatives, including Gladue.
This is another blow to Pierre Poilievre.
Pollster David Coletto says it raises questions about his leadership.
Not just how he appeals to the country and to Canadians, but how he's handled his own caucus. He lost a senior staffer this week as well, and so it is that question that keeps coming up is, can he work well with others?
Poilievre online accusing Carney of seizing a costly Liberal majority that voters denied him, and doing so through backroom deals. The Bloc Québécois using it to try and pick up a seat in Monday's by-election in Quebec.
The Liberals have this majority that the people of Terrebonne and the people of Quebec should, could, and might choose to have a stronger voice that will speak only for themselves.
There are 3 by-elections on Monday that include 2 seats considered safe for the Liberals. If they win one of those seats, technically they'll secure a majority government. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
He came with big, pricey promises. Vancouver Mayor Ken Sim has made his final State of the City address of his first term to the region's Board of Trade. Justin McElroy reports on what the mayor is pitching ahead of October's municipal elections.
Remember this, Ken Sim?
I envision a Vancouver in the not-so-distant future that is super exciting again. A Vancouver with a renewed swagger.
That was Vancouver's mayor in his 2023 State of the City speech, an annual event put on by the city's Board of Trade. Wednesday, the mayor gave his final State of the City speech before this year's election. The word swagger was never uttered, neither was vibes. The mayor wore a suit, and the head of the Board of Trade picked up on the change over 3 years.
Something I could have done a lot better was the way I sort of carried myself. Like, I'm not a politician. I don't speak like a politician. I don't dress like a politician.
Well, you are now.
Well, yeah, a little bit. Hey, we learn, right?
Sim's pivot has been well documented, and this State of the City was also a pivot to his re-election bid in October, and he made 2 big promises.
With an ABC majority on council, this zero means zero budget will be the first of 2. I'm committing here today to another 0% property tax increase in 2027.
That's right. Zero means zero, 2.0. Sim said a property tax freeze for next year would happen, and then future tax increases would only be at the rate of inflation, but gave no new details about what cuts might need to happen in order for it to go forward. And he also made a spending promise.
I'm announcing today that my ABC Council team is committing $400 million to a new funding for rebuilding and large-scale renovations of 5 Vancouver community centres.
This is possible even with the property tax freeze because of how capital projects are funded. But the state of Vancouver's community centres has been an issue for some time, which begs the question, is promising improvements 3.5 years into your term cynical politics?
Well, this is our first capital plan, so it's our first big opportunity. And we were also, building our foundation, getting our fiscal house in order.
It's an argument Sim will likely make several times in the next 6 months. They've made necessary hard choices and now can build going forward. But in order to execute this pivot, Sim needs the support from voters in October, or else it will be someone else deciding what happens to those community centres. Justin McElroy, CBC News, Vancouver.
It was a tense day near Pemberton. A wildfire erupted on Tuesday, but thanks to a quick response from the community as well as firefighters, it's now under control. The CBC's Alana Kelly has more from Mount Currie.
Oh yeah, flames are about 25, 30 feet high there now.
A wildfire sparks in Mount Currie, east of Pemberton.
Just drive down the road and I've seen the flames were just taking right off.
Strong winds pushed the flames, growing the fire to 62 hectares.
A friend, a resident in the area, described it as sounding like a freight train traveling down the field.
Some people were put on evacuation alert.
It was quite close, like going up to people's backyards of, where our people live.
The wildfire quickly tore through an open pasture along Rancherie Street, which is filled with dry hay.
This area and the community is known how quickly a wildfire can travel due to the dry grass conditions, especially around this season.
Our cattle, our livestock, that travel through back there.
Word quickly spread about the fire.
The community members in the area responded immediately.
BC Wildfire Service, along with Leawatt and Pemberton firefighters, also came to help.
The real story here was the winds. We did have quite gusty winds, and wind direction was shifting quite a bit in the evening, and that did present challenges for our firefighters.
No one was injured and no homes were damaged.
Very thankful that, our people are safe. We put our hands up to, our Lilwet Nation, Mount Currie, volunteer fire department.
Power was knocked out to people in this community early in the morning. It's since been restored. Work is being done to protect this community from catastrophic wildfires.
In the past 2 years, we've done between 150 and 200 hectares of fuel thinning, so thinning out the forest around the community to help make it more safe.
They have their own initial attack fire crew that's in training.
They'll be ready in the next month to be activated by the province. So,
with the wildfire season just starting, it's a reminder of how important their work is.
Weather that we have here, extremely hot afternoons and increased wind, can really, make the fires move quite quickly.
The cause of the fire is still being investigated. Alana Kelly, CBC News, Mount Currie.
Wildfire experts, meanwhile, are predicting another turbulent summer here in BC, with drought and heat working together to create blazes that burn longer and hotter. As Shelley Joyce explains, the wind and human element are nearly impossible to predict, but may be the deciding factor in how this season unfolds.
Hot and dry, two of the ingredients that combine to create a volatile fire season in BC. Researchers are scrambling to gather the data they need to predict what the next few months will look like. And this forest fire expert is keeping a close eye on the forecast.
Potentially scary. And the hotter we are, generally the more fire we see. The disclaimer is it will depend on the day-to-day weather and the ignitions we see during the fire season.
Ignitions like lightning, unattended campfires, and sparks from vehicles like trains or downed power lines can cause wildfire chaos. Northern BC has a robust snowpack thanks to 2 to 3 times the normal precipitation, while southern parts saw less than half of what's considered normal. That's led to persistent drought conditions in the southern interior. But experts say it's the unknowns that make forest fire predictions nearly impossible.
What that wind speed's going to be on a given day in the middle of summer And that's really critical for predicting fire behavior. And that's really pretty much impossible to predict.
And researchers are finding climate change is making summers longer.
We found that the shoulder seasons are shrinking on either end of summer.
This researcher says BC summers are increasing by more than 6 days over a decade. In 40 years, that means a month more of summer.
Everything is drying out earlier. And when you think about forest fires, what we know is that when the trees and the foliage around them dry out, they are much more able to burn stronger, longer, hotter.
Shelley Joyce, CBC News, Kamloops.
The weather update is brought to you by Paul Davis Property Restoration Experts. When things go wrong, we do what's right.
Darius Madavi is here with the first look at the weather.
All right, we have sunny skies across the vast majority of BC. That will continue through tomorrow. It's not really until Friday we start to see a little bit of cloud build in parts of the province, especially here in southwest BC. Then as we get into overnight Friday to Saturday, that's when we likely see a little bit of precipitation creep up from the south and reach some of the more southern parts of the region. Most parts of the island, though, especially north of places like Tofino, not likely to see that same rain. And in many places it will be rain. Temperatures have been climbing. They will remain elevated for the next few days. Inland areas do see a bit of a dip as we get into Saturday. But in the meantime, enjoy 20-plus temperatures in the Fraser Valley.
All right, Darius, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Heads up gardeners and green grass enthusiasts. Metro Vancouver says lawn watering restrictions will start May 1st. Homeowners and businesses will be allowed to water lawns 1 day a week until October. Metro's Water Services says the region's snowpack this year is below the historic average, and lawn watering is a big drain over the summer.
As the reservoirs start to get drawn down, the snowpack melts and acts as another source of water for the region. And this year we have a lower than normal snowpack. Our snowpack is at 55% of normal as of April 1, which is low.
More bus services coming to the North Shore more quickly. TransLink has announced the R2 rapid bus extension from West Vancouver's Park Royal Mall to Metrotown and Burnaby is set to start rolling in September, 3 months ahead of schedule.
This is a big deal for commuters along this corridor. Students traveling to BCIT and to Capilano University, workers headed to the port and jobs across Burnaby, and everyone else who depends on this route will see a meaningful difference.
The extended route will take Marine Drive across the Ironworkers Memorial Bridge along Hastings and then down Willingdon Avenue to Metrotown. Construction on all of the stops along that route is set to start in the coming weeks. The BC government has now overridden a months-long council stalemate in West Vancouver and approved a neighborhood plan to build more housing in the center of that city.
West Vancouver is not unique in terms of their treatment by the provincial government in terms of our expectations that they hit minimum standards in providing the housing that people need.
The province says it has ordered the district to implement the Ambleside Centre plan so more homes can be constructed. It says West Van failed to meet its year one housing target, building only 58 of 220 units. The district also failed to meet other directives put forth by the province intended to increase density. The province says West Van must now share progress reports every 3 months. The families of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls are marking the 20th anniversary of the first Highway of Tears Forum in Prince George. A former Mountie who worked on cases admits investigations have slowed from a lack of tips.
You know, I've heard that the police don't care. We certainly do. Historically, I look back and I think communication has been a problem. I think if we improved communication, we improved trust, and then we move forward.
An RCMP task force called Project E-PANA was created in 2005 to investigate a series of unsolved murders with links to Highway 16, dubbed the Highway of Tears. The next year, the task force took on 9 investigations. That doubled to 18 by 2007. To date, police have identified 1 suspect in 3 murders. Another man was convicted in the killing of 12-year-old Monica Jack. Hundreds killed in Beirut and wounded as Israel escalates its attacks on Lebanon. Iran says it violates the ceasefire deal, and the U.S. says that wasn't part of the deal. A delicate truce? Next. The U.S. and Iran may have agreed to a ceasefire in their war, but less than 1 day after that was struck, there are conflicting reports of the actual terms of the agreement. And as Cameron McIntosh reports, no sign the hostilities are over.
A ceasefire in name, but so far not in practice. The Strait of Hormuz remains closed to global oil traffic as Israel continues to strike Iranian-backed Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. While in the U.S.,
the world has just witnessed a historically swift and successful military triumph.
The Trump administration says the president's threats to wipe out a civilization has brought Iran to the bargaining table.
I think it was a very, very strong threat from the President of the United States that led the Iranian regime to cave to their knees.
In Iran, word of a ceasefire brought celebration after Pakistan brokered a last-minute deal, the U.S. agreeing to stop attacking, with Iran agreeing to open the strait to oil traffic for 2 weeks. But Wednesday, Iran was still firing missiles. It said it was on alert for attack amid conflicting reports over terms for peace. including whether Iran will retain its stockpile of enriched uranium, a non-starter for the U.S.
They will either give it to us, which the president has laid out. They'll give it to us voluntarily. We'll get it. We'll take it out.
This analyst is not optimistic.
I'd be surprised if it lasts 4 days.
Really?
The differences are so far apart. I could be wrong, but I'd be surprised.
Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel still has objectives to complete, insisting the ceasefire does not apply to Lebanon. The U.S. agrees. Iran calls that a deal breaker, leaving all of this in doubt. Still, there's optimism in the markets. Oil prices dropped in anticipation of the strait reopening. Britain's Prime Minister urging a lasting peace.
It's our job to make sure that the strait is open, that we're able to get the energy that the world needs out.
For now, at least, the U.S. and Iran are to begin talks this weekend in Islamabad. Both sides already claiming victory under a ceasefire that is far from certain. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
As Cameron mentioned, Iran is insisting both fronts of the war are part of the ceasefire agreement. The U.S. and Israel deny that. In fact, the deal was since the deal was brokered, Israeli forces have intensified their attacks on Lebanon. Crystal Gumansing has more on the latest assaults that have killed at least 112 people.
A sweeping and deadly wave of Israeli airstrikes rocked Lebanon. Within 10 minutes, multiple areas were hit simultaneously, targeting more than 100 sites linked to Hezbollah, according to Israel Defense Forces. At one point in the afternoon, the Lebanese Red Cross said 100 ambulances were deployed to strike sites. On the ground in Beirut, the Bekaa Valley, and in coastal southern cities, including Tyre and Sidon, large-scale search and rescue operations were launched. Lebanon's health ministry said hospitals were overflowing with hundreds of victims. That included those killed and wounded in the strikes. Israeli officials say the ceasefire in Iran does not cover military operations in Lebanon. That contradicts what Pakistan's prime minister, who brokered the deal, says. Israel's defense minister addressed the large-scale aerial operation in a video released by Israel Katz's office. In it, he said it was kept as a separate front in order to change the reality in Lebanon, removing the threat posed by Hezbollah to northern communities, saying the IDF will continue to operate vigorously against Hezbollah. Lebanon was dragged into another conflict with Israel after Hezbollah fired on Israel last month in retaliation for the war in Iran. In a statement, Lebanon's Prime Minister Joseph Aoun called for continued efforts to ensure lasting and stable peace. A negotiated peace, he said, that should include Lebanon. Crystal Gumansing, CBC News, London.
The pool is open again at the Watermark Beach Resort in Osoyoos. Bit of a cool dip, though, with just a high of 15 degrees. There is more warm weather to come, though. Darius has your BC-wide weather forecast next. The BC government is spending nearly $7 million to expand production of made-in-BC goods and create more jobs in the southern interior.
Government partnering with business to help them take that next step to reach additional markets, to hire more people, and to get their products into the hands of more Canadians and more people around the world.
The funding will help 4 businesses expand or create operations in the region. Most of it will go to Mako Wood Furniture. It's a Surrey-based furniture producer. We're building a new facility in Merritt. Goodway Homes, meanwhile, will also get some cash to build a new manufacturing center in Malacca. And Dynaflex Group and Kinetic Custom Trailers will also receive money to upgrade their facilities in Salmon Arm and Penticton. The investment is expected to create more than 100 jobs. The war in the Middle East has been driving up the cost of fuel in Canada and elsewhere. That, in turn, is impacting grocery prices. Experts warn that even with a ceasefire, shoppers need to brace for higher costs. Nisha Patel has more on what you can expect.
Everything's going up 50 cents to $1 a pound.
The fuel crisis from the Middle East war is driving food prices higher, starting with imported produce and some meat and dairy.
The fresh stuff is where you're going to see the immediate impact.
At Winnipeg grocery store Food Fair owner Munther Zaid says shippers and suppliers are adding fuel surcharges, forcing him to pass those costs on.
This, a couple of weeks ago, we had it on for 75 cents for a 2-pound bag of onions. We just got a shipment in. We had to raise it to $1.
It's becoming more expensive for trucking companies to transport goods, with the price of diesel jumping 40% since the war began. That's rippling through the food supply chain to grocers.
We're now at the point where we can't hold off any longer, and what consumers are seeing at the fuel pump is what the grocers are seeing at their back doors.
And shoppers in rural and remote communities will feel the squeeze even more.
We should anticipate that there's going to be an increase in food inflation in the months ahead. You just have to be transparent and honest about that. There's just no magic bullet that can erase that from happening.
Though experts say with Canada's growing season around the corner, buying local seasonal produce could provide a buffer for grocery budgets.
As we get into the spring, our fresh fruits and vegetables aren't coming from as far away, and so the freight impact will not be as profound.
After years of soaring food bills, shoppers are preparing for yet another financial hit.
I am a little more cautious of what I'm buying.
Well, I'm going to double down on my meal planning and prepping, so just making sure that I'm using everything I buy.
It could take months for energy markets to stabilize. Until then, consumers and the economy will pay the price. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
Air Canada is testing out a new and hopefully faster way to deal with unhappy customers. Faced with a massive backlog of compensation claims to wade through, the airline has tapped a third-party arbitrator to help. Philippe de Montigny has more on what this might mean for the complaint you filed.
For customers seeking compensation for things like delays or cancellations, the wait with the Canadian Transportation Agency can be lengthy, currently up to 3 years.
It's painstaking because, I don't know, I think they probably get rejected outright as a matter of course, and then, you know, it's a waiting game.
To speed up the process, Air Canada is testing out a new arbitration process using an independent third party. For about 500 customers, the arbitrator will have up to 90 days to rule on each case. The results would be non-binding for the passengers.
Whatever decision emanates from the arbitration, we will be bound by it, Air Canada, but they will not be bound by it. If they wish to pursue their claim before the CTA after the arbitral decision, they can do that.
Despite the CTA hiring more workers, the airline's watchdog has a backlog of roughly 96,000 complaints.
It's a pretty expedited way of getting a resolution for the passenger.
I personally have never had a problem, but if I did, I would not be happy about having to wait 2 or 3 years. So good for Air Canada then.
The airline hired the Canadian Aviation Dispute Resolution. Its parent company, the CDRL Group, is based out of the UK and operates across Europe. Experts are concerned about Air Canada's choice.
We need some sort of independent oversight, hopefully government oversight, to make sure that if the carriers are paying for this, that they're not winning all of the cases. That would be one huge red flag.
Air Canada plans to share the results of its pilot project with the federal government this summer, and then it'll be up to Ottawa to decide whether or not it wants to set up and fund its own arbitration system. Philippe Demoncy, CBC News, Mississauga.
Immunization rates for measles dropped in every region of BC between 2015 and 2024. A CBC News analysis focused on children 7 years old. Our Tara Carmen now with more of the details.
So there wasn't actually a single region of the province where rates increased for this age group, which is 7-year-olds. Let's have a look at the chart. So this shows the percentage of 7-year-olds fully vaccinated against measles. And the reason I picked 7 is that's the first year we get data on this from all 5 health regions. And as you can see, rates are down across the board. This trend seems to have really accelerated post-pandemic. So provincially, this went from 90% fully vaccinated in 2015 to 70% in 2024. But there's quite a bit of variability throughout the province. And really what we see is actually an urban-rural split. Places like the Northeast, the Okanagan, and Thompson-Caribou saw bigger declines, while rates in Metro Vancouver and Victoria didn't drop by quite as much. I spoke with the doctor at Northern Health about this because that's where the current measles outbreak was centered, specifically in the Northeast. And that was also one of the places where immunization rates were lowest.
Things change with, views and values around immunizations and also, access to immunizations and, families are busy and sometimes it's hard to get into an appointment. So there's, and, just our rural geography, we have a lot of communities where there might not be clinics in town and they might have to travel for vaccines. So sometimes, just getting to an appointment can be difficult.
And Dr. Kling did add that Northern Health actually did see a significant increase in immunizations last year, which he says may have been a result of actually having the virus in the community.
Tara Carmen reporting. If you're starting a new workout this spring, maybe a new TikTok challenge, health experts are issuing a warning. Be careful. It turns out if you go too hard, too fast, you could end up with a life-threatening condition. Jennifer Lagrassa has one woman's cautionary tale.
Kyra Fancy was a fit 24-year-old when she went to her first ever spin class.
I didn't know anything bad could come out of it other than some sore muscles.
But in the days after, the pain in her legs became excruciating.
I felt like I was dying.
At the hospital, doctors said she had exertional or exercise-induced rhabdomyolysis. The condition known as rhabdo can happen after intense exercise, when muscle tissue breaks down and leaks proteins into the bloodstream. At high amounts, these proteins are dangerous. Symptoms include extreme pain, swelling, and dark-colored urine. This expert says in severe but rare cases, it can lead to kidney failure.
If you damage kidneys, that can lead to the need for dialysis. That would be the worst outcome.
This type of rhabdo isn't tracked nationally, but since October, Newfoundland and Labrador Health Services says it's seen an unusual spike. 20 people, mostly women between 19 to 30 years old, have gone to hospital ERs with the illness.
Hey, come on!
Experts suggest fitness trends and social media are playing a role.
People posting what they're doing and kind of challenging their friends.
Going all out during a workout or getting back into fitness after a break, along with heat and dehydration, can increase the risk of rhabdo.
Stay hydrated, listen to your body, start off slow if you're changing activities.
This Ontario gym says it's focused on making sure everyone works out safely.
Our instructor is constantly saying, okay, take a sip and train within your limits.
Though Fancy has fully recovered from her rhabdo scare in 2023, she can't shake what happened.
I still struggle with panic attack sometimes.
She wants others to be more aware so they don't have to go through what she did. Jennifer Lagrassa, CBC News, Windsor, Ontario.
Cases of a rare but dangerous infection are growing in Canada. Invasive meningococcal disease can cause serious complications, including meningitis. Lauren Pelly now with more on the outbreak and why the disease can be challenging to fight.
I just thought maybe she had a headache.
Sandy Hilmerson says her 11-year-old daughter was first diagnosed with an ear infection in April 2024. Then symptoms like a rising fever and vomiting quickly got worse.
She wasn't even coherent.
It turned out Leah had bacterial meningitis, a dangerous inflammation of the membranes around the brain. While rare, similar infections are on the rise in Canada, and in Leah's case, she spent more than a week in hospital.
We are grateful that they were able to recognize what was going on.
Meningitis is often caused by invasive meningococcal disease. Data compiled by CBC News shows the bacterial infection hit a record low during the pandemic, then started rising again to at least 155 countrywide infections in 2025. The bulk of those cases appeared in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec, marking Canada's highest tally in more than a decade.
If somebody says you should get your meningococcal vaccine, then you should probably get it.
These infections only turn dangerous when a common type of bacteria enters the bloodstream, leading to conditions like meningitis, sepsis, and organ failure. Vaccines help prevent serious illness, but
one vaccine doesn't cover everything.
Different provinces take different vaccination approaches. In Manitoba, an ongoing outbreak is driven by an unexpected strain.
The serotype W was one that we had not seen a lot of before, so we changed our routine vaccine program a couple years ago in relation to that.
Still, countrywide vaccine uptake has dropped in recent years.
It's very worrisome that our coverage rates have changed.
While this illness remains rare, its impacts are severe. The death rate for invasive meningococcal disease can be as high as 14%, and infants and young adults are among those most at risk. Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto.
Coming up, high they flew as the crew of Artemis II circled around the far, if not dark side of the moon. Check out what they saw after this.
So I know when I really like a song, if within the first 3 seconds, I'm already vibing to it.
Hey, I'm Rohith Joseph. Vibin' is the new show all about discovering great new songs and fresh artists from across BC and beyond.
It's not one person dictating what good music is, it's the community sharing what good music is.
Stream Vibin' on CBC Listen.
The astronauts of the Artemis II mission remain busy at work, running through tests and procedures ahead of their return to Earth, scheduled for Friday. Ahead of that, researchers are already buzzing over the incredible photos they've sent back from the far side of the moon. Karen Pauls has more.
Earth setting behind the moon. Craters never before seen by human eyes. A rare solar eclipse. Stunning images sent back from Artemis II.
Now those great pictures are coming down, and wow, I mean, they are incredible.
Fragile and interconnected, we copy.
After a busy lunar flyby day, the astronauts got some downtime, but still made more history.
Integrity, this is the International Space Station. How do you hear?
The first ship-to-ship communications between a spacecraft and the International Space Station.
So we have a view of you right now, and it is making us so excited.
There were some technical questions, but also more banal ones.
We want to know, what are you eating? So I had spicy green beans for lunch. I had a mango salad this morning.
The communication, an important test for future spaceflight endeavors.
When you're on the highway and there's the little rest spot that you can pull over and, you know, charge your phone or get a drink or go to the bathroom, we're going to need that in space too.
The astronauts also debriefed scientists about their observations on the far side of the moon.
I was able to see into the crater wall on the east side, and the shadowing there was actually neat, so I could see layers of shadow.
Orion has now left the lunar sphere of influence, which means Earth's gravity is stronger than the moon's, turning attention to re-entry.
We still have to ensure that Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy return home safely on Friday evening, so we're pretty focused on that.
NASA says the weather is favorable for re-entry at this point, but they are monitoring for rain, which can interfere with communications and visibility and pose a safety risk. Karen Pauls, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Let's go to the scientist, Darius Madavi, here with the BC Wide Weather Forecast with a bit more on Artemis as we wait for re-entry and splashdown tomorrow.
That's right. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening aboard the capsule. And like we heard, this has been a calmer couple of days after the very exciting day of the lunar flyby. But that doesn't mean that the astronauts aren't hard at work. They're doing a lot of experiments. They today tested, tried on their basically very fancy compression pants. They have a fancy name, but they're meant to make sure that your blood flow, your circulation, your blood pressure stays normal as you re-enter Earth's atmosphere, because your body's used to microgravity. You need to make sure that you can still be pumping that blood. So as the Orion capsule re-enters the atmosphere, they'll have those on underneath their survival suits. They've done another number of other things today, like practicing manual piloting of the spacecraft, orienting it in certain ways. All important stuff for future missions that use the Orion capsule. With that said, one of the science things that I was most excited about, most people, maybe it's just me, I studied immunology, so this one's very exciting for me, but this is an organ-on-a-chip device. This technology has come very far in recent years, and it is very cool. Basically what you do is you take skin cells or blood cells from a person, in this case, the astronauts aboard the Orion space capsule, and you put them on the chip. You can, or first, you turn those blood cells back into stem cells. So like your bone marrow, the foundation of your immune system. Critically important, and we need to make sure that if we're sending people into deep space, the radiation shields on board the capsules that they're in are enough to protect them from the impact of that radiation, because bone marrow, very potentially very susceptible to that radiation. So in this case, they were able to take the astronaut's blood, induce it back into these stem cells, into bone marrow. You fill up some of those chips, you send some of them into space on the capsule, you keep some of them on Earth, and what that lets you do is you get to compare the ones that remained on Earth under the protection of Earth's magnetic field. You can compare those to the ones that went up into space. If you're wondering why we can't do this with the ISS astronauts, the ISS orbits only about 400 kilometers from the Earth, very close, well within the 60,000 kilometer range of Earth's magnetic field. Going to the moon, 400,000 kilometers away. you're well outside of that protective range. So we need to make sure those astronauts are staying safe by checking out what happens when you're outside of Earth's magnetic field and impacted by the solar wind, impacted by high energy rays from other parts of the universe, other parts of the galaxy. And this experiment will let them do that. So that's why I'm so excited about it. And look at that, that one's being held by somebody in a spacesuit. Now, let's turn to the weather. Things are very calm. That's why I spent so long rambling about my cool orchid on a chip story. So sunny skies for the vast majority of BC. The northwest does get a little bit of precipitation creeping in, but really not much at all, nothing too dramatic. It's really not until Friday night into Saturday that we start to see more precipitation creeping in, mostly to southwest BC, maybe a little bit in the southwest interior as well, or the southern interior as well. If we look at temperatures, those continue to climb into tomorrow and Friday. A couple of nice warm days ahead. They come down a little bit on Saturday, but nothing crazy. So in the meantime, enjoy the sunshine, Dan. We got a few more days of it still to come.
Sounds good. And I looked it up. Hopefully I'm correct. Gradient compression garments. Is that correct?
They have an even fancier name, I have to say.
That's pretty up there.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.
The weather update is brought to you by Paul Davis Property Restoration Experts. When things go wrong, we do what's right.
Coming up, a winning musical group at UBC is getting ready to take the international stage. Their voices are next.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox.
Celebrate cinema and culture with CBC at the Sunder Prize Film Festival, April 23rd to the 26th. The festival features a powerful slate of films, panels, and special events that shine a light on stories of identity, belonging, resilience, and social change. And never miss a special programming series, event, or contest. Subscribe to CBC's e-newsletter and keep connected with us.
An a cappella group from Vancouver is on its way to a very prestigious competition. A cappella, that's A question mark Capella, is made up of a group of UBC students.
EH question mark.
Yes.
Capella, question mark.
Indeed.
Yeah. They reached the Western semifinals in California, and they won. Now they're on their way to New York City. CBC story producer Allison Cole has more.
They'll be there calling me Mary.
It's a spring afternoon at the University of BC, and a group called A Cappella is fine-tuning a performance that's about to take them to the biggest stage in collegiate music.
Do it with me, guys.
They just recently placed first in the Western semifinals at the International Championship of Collegiate A Cappella in San Francisco. The all-voice ensemble, no instruments, just precision, harmony, and rhythm, is preparing for the finals of the ICCA, set to take place in New York City in just a few weeks. Ryota Misaka is one of the co-musical directors of the ensemble.
What was it like to win the Western semi-finals in San Francisco just a few weeks ago?
It was definitely a dream come true. We came a long way from quarterfinals, where we also placed first place, and with all the competition, with different schools coming from different universities, we believe that it was definitely a big challenge because we were kind of the underdog of the whole region. But with all the rehearsal and practice we did, it was definitely worth it.
Alto tenor berries, we're doing no.
You might think this group of 18 members is full of music majors, but surprisingly, not one of them is studying music at UBC.
I'm studying business.
Excellent. That's an excellent match for music, don't you think? What is it like to have the musical component in your life with the group as it juxtaposes against your business studies?
This a cappella group of music in general kind of takes me away from the education side, kind of takes me on a break. When I'm with the a cappella and like creating music, I just forget about business on the side and just like kind of have a mental breather.
A cappella has re-entered the public's mind. In the last decade, it's had a resurgence in Hollywood.
My name's Juliana. I'm one of the co-musical directors of A Cappella.
I want you to break it down for me. What is exactly musically and just methodically?
Typically, there would be the vocal percussionist, which is in charge of like the rhythm, the drum line. Bass, kind of like the bass rhythm. And then the ensemble typically would be a soprano, alto, tenor, baritone.
What part do you sing?
I'm an alto.
Can you give me a tone?
Whoa.
That's alto? It sounds like a soprano.
That could be an alto
Yeah.
now. There's like a big range.
I want to know what this beatboxing part is all about.
Can anyone learn how to beatbox?
Of course. I learned during COVID over YouTube because I watched Pitch Perfect, and that really inspired me to learn how to beatbox.
That's right, that's right. So, can you teach me how to beatbox?
Of course.
I have no idea what to do.
No worries. Most simple beat, I'll just demonstrate for you. It was and you try to emphasize the C sound. Cats, cats. And then you can put it together. So then, you want to do it together?
Yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. You did great. You did great.
This iteration of the group has only been together since September. The semifinals in San Francisco brought in powerhouse schools from across the West Coast, where a cappella came out on top. And now the group carries a rare distinction, heading to the World Finals as the only Canadian team in a competition long dominated by American schools.
Just thinking about tomorrow, clears away the cobwebs and sorrow.
This is the first time in team history. I think all the members are sharing a really competitive mindset of trying to win in the ICCA finals, but at the end of the day, we also kind of understand that at the end of the day, this is like a fun extracurricular activity that we're doing, and none of us in the group are music majors, and we all love to just share the love for singing.
Having like the artistic aspect to my university life has definitely made it a lot more fun and memorable for sure. Like I've definitely made some memories that I'll remember, like, I don't know, 20 years in the future, look back and be like, oh yeah, my team and we made it to finals, got to travel to New York City for the first time. That was super exciting.
You're always a day away.
It may be more than a day away, and for a cappella, it's more than just a competition. It's a chance to bring their sound and a bit of Canadian pride to the global stage. Allison Cole, CBC News, Vancouver.
Great voices. Beatboxing is very cool. Now we're going to send Allison to breakdancing school.
Okay, I thought you were going to say you were about to beatbox. I was really excited.
Audience doesn't need to hear that.
Thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News at 6. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, YouTube, and our website, cbc.ca/BC.
And we'll have your next local news at 11 o'clock, right after the National. Good night.